Okay, here we've got Mouse 1, Chapter 5, Part 2. If you remember, we learned the tragedy of what happens to Rishu with the Jewish council being shot. They were evacuating Zarwisi. Everyone was going to get sent to Auschwitz, and so his aunt, essentially Tosha, Mercy, killed themselves so they wouldn't have to go. And as you know, he describes it, it was a tragedy among tragedies. He was such a beautiful boy. Did Tosha's husband survive? No. On the train to Auschwitz, he tried to escape and they shot him. Hardly any survived. But these things we learned only much later. In our bunkers, we heard only rumors. Your bunkers? Yeah. We had in Strajula to make for ourselves bunkers, places to hide. The Germans started to grab out anybody, if they had papers or no. Therefore, I arranged for us a good hiding place in our cellar, where there was coal storage. Show me to your pencil, and I can explain to you. Such things is good to know exactly how it is, just in case. And the kitchen was coal bin, maybe 4 feet wide. Inside I made a hole down to the cellar, and there we made a brick wall filled with high coal. Behind this wall we could be a little safer. If you see the actual image here, and then you scroll down, you have the same image. The coal bin, the coal bin. The ladder, the folks hiding behind the wall, the ladder, the fake wall, and you've got the coal, and here you've got the coal. Even when they came with dogs to smell us out, they knew the Jews are laying here, but still they couldn't find. The dogs ran up and down like mad, but in the coal bin was only coal. It looked full, and they couldn't lift it. In the cellar, it was only a cellar. Is it safe to go out yet? I can't stand all these worms crawling all over me. The Germans are leaving. We had worms in the bunker. We've got enough food to stay here a couple days. We'd better wait until things quiet down. We survived there a few actions, meaning a few roundups. But others what didn't have such a good place, like what I made, they kept being taken away. If you've seen Schindler's List, you've seen the liquidation of the Krakow ghetto, when they just, bust in and raid houses and check under beds and in closets and in any little imaginable spot. They checked and they forcibly removed people, threw them on the trucks to Auschwitz. Then, in June, they arrested Monique Merlin and all of our highest big shots of the Judenrat, the Jewish Council. Around this time, we put in a different house. Here we also made a bunker. This is the Chandelier Bunker. By the end of July, the Nazis made it to liquidate completely our ghetto. It was 10,000 Jews taken in 1 week. Except to sneak for food, we stayed mostly in the bunker. Lolek, thank God you're safe. It's like a battlefield out there, he says. There's hardly anyone left in Strajula. Everyone has been deported or shot. From all the Jews of all Soswick, it was left only maybe 1,000 in the ghetto. At least your bag is full. You found a lot of food, yes? Just a few turnips and some old books. Books? What's the matter with you? We can't eat books. All the time we were hungry. We just didn't have what to eat. One night we sneaked for food. Look, a stranger! We dragged him up to the bunker. What are you doing here? I didn't know anyone lived here. I just stopped to rest a moment. My wife and I have a starving baby. I was out hunting for scraps. He's lying. He may be an informer. The safest thing would be to kill him. What had we to do? We took pity on him. In the morning, we gave a little food to him and left him go to his family. Judenras. The Gestapo came that afternoon. They took us to a building in part of Strajula, separated by wires, a ghetto inside the ghetto, and there we had to sit and wait. Again, you probably turned him over for a little bit of sugar, and when you're starving and when you are put in such dire positions, you're going to do what you have to do to survive, and that could mean turning in others. We were maybe 200 people together waiting. Each Wednesday went vans to Auschwitz, and then we were caught. It was then maybe a Thursday. Look, Anya, that's my cousin, Yakov Spiegelman, in the courtyard. Hey, Yakov, help us! Yakov! Vladek, there's nothing I can do. I made signs to show I could pay. Some gold I hid in the chimney of our bunkers when they took us, but a few valuables I still had with me. Okay, don't worry, Haskell. We'll come help you. Haskell Spiegelman was another cousin. Wouldn't they have helped you even if you couldn't pay? I mean, you were from the same family. You don't understand. At this time, it wasn't any more families. It was everybody to take care of himself. The next day came in 2 girls carrying food, and with them Haskell, the chief of the police. Look, Vladek, I can get you and your wife out, even your nephew, but your in-laws are too old. They'll never get past the guards. Please, we'll make it worth your while. The 2 girls he sent back to the kitchen. Quick, boy, grab this empty pail and carry it out with me. From the window we saw Lolik go. My God, Vladek. You must get Matka and me out, too. Give your cousin this gold watch, this diamond, anything. Of course, I'll do everything I can. The day after, Anya and I carried past the guards the empty pails. Haskell took from me father-in-law jewels, but finally he didn't help them. On Wednesday, the vans came, and Anya and I saw her father at the window. He was tearing in his hair and crying, but he was a millionaire. But this did not save him his life. So Mom's parents died in Auschwitz. Yeah, what else? Right away, they went to the gas. Haskell was happy to take from father-in-law the jewelry, but the risk to save them, this he was not so happy to take. Always Haskell was such a guy, a combinator. What? You know, a guy who makes combination, a schemer, a crook. We see Vladek pick something up. He says, what did you pick up? Telephone wire. It's very hard to find. Inside, it's little wires. It's good for tying things. You always pick up trash. Can't you just buy wire? Psh. You always want to buy when you can find. Anyway, this wire, they don't have it in any stores. I'll give you some. You'll see how useful the wire is. No thanks. Just tell me what happened with Haskell. So stepping away from the text for a moment, another example. People let you down when you were in Auschwitz, in the concentration camps. They died. Things actually could save your life. And when you have nothing, not even paper, everything is of value. And so, can you blame Vladek? Now, I don't know, put yourself in their shoes. You're walking down the street and your father's picking through garbage. Are you going to be happy about that? Nor would Vladek, or nor would Art. But can you understand the reason? That's why, our very first day we talked about what is possible and what is probable. And if you see somebody, is it possible that they have a reason for doing what they're doing? Is it possible there's a reason Vladek is, picking through trash? Well, in this case, the answer is yes. He survived Auschwitz and he values things because that saved his life. It is possible, right? Continuing on. He says, no thanks. Just tell me what happened to Haskell. There's only about 1,000 Jews left here. Most work at the Brown shoe shop. Haskell was a very big man in the ghetto then. He was a very big man in the ghetto then, when Serjula was finishing. You know what, I'll register you both there, and, good afternoon, Sergeant. How are you, Herr Spiegelman? Haskell played very often cards with the Gestapo. We'll see you tonight, yes? Oh, naturally, I just hope you won't be as lucky as last time. He lost to them big amounts of money, so they would like him. Milos, take care of cousin Vladek. Oh, gladly. Haskell had 2 brothers, Pisak and Milos. Pisak was also a combinator, but Milos, he was a fine fellow. Ben here can show you how to resole the German boots. We'll reserve this workbench for you. You don't have to sit here all the time, but whenever the German's commission comes to inspect, just sit down and look busy. From time to time, I had other jobs also to do around the ghetto. Yes, this reminds me of something. Remember the guy which I told you about that gave us out of our bunker? Well, I buried him. Hey, this is the rat that turned my family over to Gestapo. He was shot. Haskell had arranged he would be killed. But if he's dead, why are his eyes still open? He was struggling to survive. It happened. I was on the work detail, so I buried him. Haskell is alive in Poland with the Polish woman, a judge, who kept him hidden when he... Ah! My heart! Artie, quick! Take from my pocket the nitrostat pill. Here you go. You okay? Whoosh. I'll be fine now, but I have only to catch my breath. Still for a minute. Let's sit on that stoop. So again, you can even see in the second panel here on page 118, the way the panel is written, the way the words are written, reflects Vladek's emotional state. Just relax. Don't talk for a while. Whew. I made too fast or talking. Thank God, with the nitrostat, it's completely over right away. What was I telling you? You sure you're okay? Well, you were saying that Haskell survived the war. Yes, even a few years ago I sent him packages. Gifts? Why? He sounds like a rotten guy. Yeah, I don't know. Only know that I sent. One time I was in the ghetto walking around. Halt, Jew! Give me your ID papers. I'm going to blow your brains out. Oh! I see you're a member of the illustrious Spiegelman family. Go on your way, then, and give Haskell my regards. Oh, such friends Haskell had. I told Haskell and Milos about this later. You were lucky, Vladek. They call him the shooter. Every day he kills some poor Jew just for fun. Hey, aren't you going to go over to Pisac's to buy some cake? Cake? For years we didn't see any cake, hardly even bread we saw. It's impossible. He's joking. Cake? But Cousin Pisac was really selling cake. Everyone what could afford it soon stood in line to buy a piece. Oh, it looks delicious. How did you manage it, Pisac? When people are sent to Auschwitz, my men search their houses. Pisac was like Haskell, part of the Jewish police. They find a little flour here, a few grams of sugar there. I save. He was younger from Haskell, but also a combinator. You know what the cook by Rivka is? Try it. It's only 75 zlotys a slice. I had still savings, so I got for Anya and me some cake. But the whole ghetto, we were so sick later, you can't imagine. Only of the flour Pisac found, it wasn't really flour, only laundry soap. What he put in the cake by mistake. We were all sick like dogs. Before the war, Pisac had a resort hotel in Zakopane. In those days, he also found always schemes. All guests had to pay big Polish taxes, so Pisac took bribes not to register them. But if an inspector came, the guests had to hide themselves right away. One time his wife made not enough desserts to give to everybody, so Pisac ran into the dining room and yelled, "Inspectors are coming!" It was no inspector, of course, but 40% of the guests ran from the room. Pisac had enough desserts left over even for the next day. Come. Are you ready to walk again? Yeah, it's too dirty to sit, but really, if I didn't have my nitrostat, it could have been something terrible just now. Milos Spiegelman. He survived the war with his wife and child. They moved to Australia about 5 years ago. He had a big heart attack. And last year, he got in the street. He had a seizure, like what I had just now, but he didn't have with him his pills. His wife ran to a drugstore. When she came back, Milos was dead. Yeah, so life goes. But I must finish quick to tell you the rest about Strujula, because we will come soon over to the bank. Reminds me of a text-to-text, So Life Goes, that's in Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse 5. Every time someone dies, they always say, well, so it goes. By the end of 1943, the vans went every Wednesday with more and more and more people from Strujula to Auschwitz, until it was left very few. It could be our turn next, Dave Ladek. Let's hope not, Milos. Haskell heard that any day now they intended to deport everyone that's still left here. Milos took me to hide in the shoe shop. So if you remember the bunkers, so far they've had the one in the shed, and then they've had the coal cellar. They had the chandelier bunker. Here we're going to have the shoe bunker. It was early and nobody was there. Haskell made plans to smuggle himself out of the ghetto. Pisac and I also have a plan. He moved a few shoes from a pile high to the ceiling. He took me inside a tunnel. Don't tell anyone about this except Anya and your nephew. A tunnel made from shoes. We came out to a bunker. Be prepared to bring on a moment's notice. Incredible. Everything was ready for 15, 16 people to hide. Reminds me also again of Schindler's List, when you see the pile of glasses, the pile of pictures. Here we have the pile of shoes that from the deported people that went to the gas chambers. A pile of shoes. But when Anya and I approached to discuss the bunker with Lolik, no thanks, forget it. But Milos has organized everything. I'm sick of hiding. Our nephew was then only 15. He was working as an electrician. Always Lolik, a little mashuka. I'm a skilled worker. Wherever they take me, I'll be okay. Oh, you're crazy, says Anya. You're going straight to the ovens. And you know, he did get put into one of the next transports to Auschwitz. Anya became completely hysterical. Oh, the whole family is gone. Grandma, Grandpa, Papa, Mama. Tosha, Bibi, my Rishu. Now they'll take Lolik. It was also around this time that we heard first the bad news from Zarwisi about Tosha and Rishu. Oh, God, let me die. Come on, Anya. Why are you pulling me, Vladek? Let me alone. I don't want to live. No, darling, to die is easy, but you have to struggle for life. Until the last moment, we must struggle together. I need you. And you'll see that together we'll survive. This always I told her. The ghetto finished out so like Milos said. About 12 of us ran into his bunker with him, his wife and his 3-year-old baby boy. Kucha! You've got to keep the baby quiet. I'm hungry. Hush. We'll have to keep him under blankets until he calms down. In a bunker in another part from the shoe shop lay Pisac and some others. It was nothing to do all day but to lie and to starve. The whole day and night Anya sat writing in her notebooks. There, I've managed to dig a small hole into the stone wall. I can see soldiers all around regards to find out any who remained hiding. What little food we had, soon it was gone. Oh, I wish I had some bread. I wish I had some bread. Quiet, we're all starving. At night we sneaked out to look for what to eat, but there was nothing to find. Here, Anya, chew on this. You found food? Never. Any of us had been so hungry like then. No, it's only wood, but chewing it feels a little like eating. After a time, Pisak came over to us from his bunker. Maybe you fools are willing to lie here until you starve to death, but not me. I've contacted one of the guards. It'll cost a fortune, but he's agreed to look the other way. Our group will mix in with the Poles when they walk past Strajula on the way to the work tomorrow. If you want to chip in, you can come with us. Many from our bunker said yes. Milos and I, we said no to this idea. We didn't trust the Germans. One guy from our bunker, Avram, came to me. He said, "Tell me when you will go, Vladek, and then I'll know it is safe." He and his girlfriend wanted to pay my advice. They had still 2 watches and some diamond rings. I didn't want to take them, but they needed these to live, so I took only the small watch. The next morning, very early, with the group, I walked out. They gave over the money and went past the guard. I stood secret behind a corner. I heard loud shooting. I didn't go to see what happened, only I ran back very fast to our bunker. Only a few of us remained. There haven't been any lights in the guard's house for 2 weeks. For 2 nights, I think. It's safe. A little before dawn, we went out from Strajula. They're gone. The ghetto is empty. Whew. Ahead of the time, we organized ourselves good clothes and ID papers. You can see the masks that they're wearing, so they're trying to blend in. Again, a lot of times, unless you had very dominant Jewish features, you could blend in. Now, Anya has very dominant Jewish features, and watch how they portray her. We mix with the Poles going to work. We'll be hiding at this address, and when you find a safe place, try to contact us, Vladek. Good luck, Milos. We all went in different directions. That guy, Avram, his woman had friends to keep them, and the friends kept them until Avram's money finished. Then they were reported. Anya and I didn't have where to go. We walked in the direction of Sosnowiec, but where to go? Again, what a great panel here in 125 to talk about the meaning of it. I mean, what do you see? How is the panel drawn that provides meaning? On the bottom left. Obviously, you've got the swastika drawn into the path. Like, wherever they go, wherever they tread, they are on dangerous ground. No matter which path they took, no matter which way they turned, it all led to Nazis. There was nowhere we had to hide. Can I help you, Mr. Spiegelman? Yes, I have my son here, Artie. I wanted to sign him a key so he can also go to my safety box. In case anything bad happens to me, you must run right away over here. Therefore, I arranged for you with this key. Take everything from the safe, otherwise it will only go to taxes or Mala will grab it. Please, Pop. Talking about this, your estate, just makes me uncomfortable. You're now old enough, so we must think of these things. Why don't you just enjoy your savings while you still can? I'll keep in my desk your copy of the key. You would only lose it. Look, you see what I have here? The cigarette case and this lady's powder case? It's 14-karat gold. Well, these things I had with me then, in Strajula, in the Chandelier bunker. Really? How can you possibly still have them? When the Gestapo found us, I dropped quick a few things into the chimney. If they found the rest of my jewels, at least these might remain. After I came out from the camps in 45, I sneaked back to Strajula, and at night, while the people inside slept, I digged these things out from the bottom of the chimney. Oh my gosh. You see this diamond? This I gave to Anya when we first came to the U.S. Even when you were a little boy, Anya wanted this ring should be for your wife. But if I give it to you, Mala will drive me crazy. She wants everything for herself. She wants that I give nothing for my brother in Israel, and nothing for you. 3 times already she made me change my will. Come on, Mala's okay. Now you can't know. Even right after my last heart attack, when still I was in bed, she started again about changing the will. I said, Mala, you see how sick I am. Let me a little bit have some peace. What do you want from me? She screamed, I want the money, the money. Why, Artie, why did I ever remarry? Oh, Anya, Anya. Easy, Pop. Let's go home. And that concludes Mouse 1. Chapter 5. We only have 1 chapter to go in Mouse 1.